If you want awesome products at great prices, check out the description. A dramatic Senate vote-a-rama unfolds, a marathon session deciding the fate of President Trump's ambitious, big, beautiful bill. 17 hours into the process, the bill, a domestic tax and spending plan projected to swell the national debt by a staggering $3.3 trillion over the next decade, remains unpassed. The Republican majority holds a precarious 3-vote cushion, with Senators Rand Paul and Thom Tillis already voicing firm opposition. Adding fuel to the already tense atmosphere, Elon Musk, the tech mogul, publicly denounced the bill, vowing to establish a new political party, the America Party, should it pass, and pledging support for candidates opposing the legislation. His X poll, inquiring about the need for a new party representing Middle America, yielded a resounding 80% affirmative response. Meanwhile, President Trump issued a stark warning to Republicans, asserting that failure to pass the bill would trigger a massive 68% tax increase, the largest in U.S. history. He simultaneously touted the bill as perhaps the greatest and most important of its kind in history, boasting of unprecedented tax cuts. Adding another layer of complexity, the Senate parliamentarian ruled that a provision blocking Medicaid funding for Planned Parenthood could be included. In a flurry of executive actions, President Trump revoked sanctions on Syria, while maintaining those on Bashar al-Assad, and reinforced the U.S. embargo and tourism ban on Cuba. The final day of the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, saw former Presidents Obama and Bush praising the agency's staff, even as a Lancet study revealed that its dismantling could lead to 14 million additional deaths by 2030. The agency's work, according to the Lancet, has prevented over 91 million deaths globally. In the judicial realm, a federal judge ordered Kilmar Abrego Garcia to remain jailed, expressing concerns about potential deportation by the Trump administration prior to his smuggling trial, overturning an earlier ruling for his release. President Trump also dropped his lawsuit against pollster Jay and Selzer and the Des Moines Register following a poll suggesting Kamala Harris's victory in Iowa. New Department of Homeland Security guidelines mandate a week's notice for congressional visits to immigration detention facilities, a stark contrast to President Trump's upcoming visit to the controversial Alligator Alcatraz facility in the Florida Everglades. The Trump administration is also engaged in legal battles, suing Los Angeles over immigration policies and appealing a court ruling against an executive order targeting the law firm Perkins Coie. Further escalating tensions, the administration notified Harvard University of a civil rights violation concerning its treatment of Jewish and Israeli students, jeopardizing the university's federal funding. On the international stage, President Trump is set to host Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House on July 7, while Israel's ongoing bombardment of Gaza continues, resulting in at least 38 more civilian deaths. Adding to the economic uncertainty, President Trump again urged Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell to lower interest rates to approximately 1%, while hinting at a stalled trade deal with Japan, suggesting the country will receive a letter outlining potential tariffs. The Senate's vote-a-rama witnessed numerous Democratic amendments, limiting Medicaid cuts, striking reproductive health funding restrictions, and reinstating Consumer Financial Protection Bureau funding, all rejected by the Republican majority. The bill, deeply divisive even within the Republican Party, includes provisions prohibiting Medicaid funding for gender transition procedures and increasing immigration-related funding for criminal and gang checks on unaccompanied migrant children, including examinations for gang-related tattoos. House Republicans remain divided, with concerns over cost and Medicaid cuts fueling internal conflict. Amidst the political maneuvering, Senator Don Bacon announced his retirement from the House, citing increasing partisan attacks and difficulties in balancing loyalty to his party and President Trump with the needs of his increasingly Democratic district. The escalating conflict between President Trump and Elon Musk continues, with Musk's criticism of the bill's impact on electric vehicle subsidies prompting a retaliatory response from the president, questioning Musk's business viability without government support. Despite the intensity of the political battles, senators found time for card games, cigars, pizza, and copious amounts of caffeine during the ongoing Senate session. Reports suggest a final vote might be reached before sunrise, but the fate of this monumental bill remains uncertain, hanging in the balance as the hours tick by. The intense scrutiny surrounding the big, beautiful bill reflects not only the deep divisions within the American political landscape but also the far-reaching implications of its potential passage or failure.